Ooh, that's good. Woo, that's good. Even though it's a little oakier, that's a hell of a wine. I'm Matthew Horkey. For the last 7 years, I've traveled around the world tasting thousands of wines annually in search of the most unique, exciting, and expensive bottles on the planet. The two greatest red grapes in Italy. We have Sangiovese and Nebbiolo. We're going to have a little bit of a taste-off. I wish I had that boxing guy here.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Sangiovese is planted throughout Italy. It's the most planted red grape in Italy. I think the last census I read, it's about 77,000 hectares, whereas Nebbiolo, there's only about 5,000 hectares planted. Most of that is in Piemonte, although you'll find it neighboring Lombardy as well. Sangiovese's real spiritual home, though, is central Italy, especially Emilia-Romagna, Umbria, and of course, Tuscany. The greatest Sangioveses are thought to come from the areas of Brunello di Montalcino, Chianti Classico, Vino, Nobile di Montepulciano, although there are other appellations that do great examples as well. And there's a lesser known one here. You're going to see, when it comes to Nebbiolo, the most sought after, the most coveted appellation is Barolo in Piemonte. Also, you have Barbaresco, and across the river, you have Raro. You go up north in Piemonte, really geeky appellations like Gattinata, Bocca come to mind, and then you go over to neighboring Lombardy, Valtellina as well. A lot of times people confuse these grapes in blind tastings, especially with age, because they have these haunting aromas of rose petal, tar, perfume, more red fruit driven, and both lighter in color. Also, the fruit flavors in Nebbiolo, I get more dried cranberry type flavors, whereas in Sangiovese, I usually get more sour cherry, that's the thing, or black cherry. That's really the identifier for me. These are grapes that are high in acid, high in tannin. However, I find that Nebbiolo tannins bite a little bit more, and Sangiovese tannins tend to be a little bit less drying. They really just have this beautiful interplay between sweet and sour fruit. Go awesome with pizza, pasta, any tomato-based dishes, braised meats, especially in Piemonte. They create everything from simple table wines to serious, age-worthy, and expensive red wines. These are not cheap wines by any stretch. All the wines here go from $30 to about $125. Nebbiolo, Barolo especially has kind of taken a seat right next to Burgundy in terms of terroir-driven wines. What makes Sangiovese and Nebbiolo unique as well is really the best examples are in its native homeland, in Italy. There are producers that have tried to plant it all around the world, but with varying results. And yes, I've tasted a lot of Sangioveses, Nebbiolos from around the world, California, Australia. I'm sorry, they do not stack up to the greatest examples from Italy. These are all great wines, and to prep my palate, I even had a Burgundy tasting right before this, so my bar is already set high. All of these wines here are either 100% Sangiovese or 100% Nebbiolo. I have been so excited about doing this episode for a long time. I've been waiting for 2 months to get the last sample to complete the set. We're gonna get these Coravin blinded, and we're gonna taste them. You ready? As always, I'm tasting with my Gabriel Glas Standart editions. I absolutely love these glasses. Universal glasses, they work really well with Sangiovese and Nebbiolo. I'm going to put a link in the description box below if you want to check them out. It really helps the channel out a lot. Thank you for being here with me. Really, I appreciate it. Had somebody mix them up for me? Let's taste them. One of these bottles was a lot taller than the rest of them, so I had to put like a dummy bottle in. But I put like a Lebanese bottle in, so when I pull it out, I'll know exactly what wine it is. Wine A comes out of the gate swinging. Now, typical. First of all, smell, call Nebbiolo, because I smell dried cranberry, tar, rose petal. It's a little more subdued. And this has got to be Nebbiolo. I hope I'm 4 for 4 on this, please. For me, dried cranberry and then the tannins. The tannins, these are a little bit more biting, especially on the bottom gum. I'm gonna think wine A is Nebbiolo. Wine B is a lot more denser, it's got more black cherry fruit flavors, something I usually associate with Sangiovese or richer Sangioveses, although I have been fooled with Barolos in the past. This shows more wood than this one, obviously. Sangiovese, I feel like, can take more wood most of the time than Nebbiolo can, although I prefer my Sangiovese to have less wood. Black cherry, mocha, earth. This is a richer Sangiovese. I think it's Sangiovese. Ooh, that's good. Woo, that's good. Even though it's a little oakier, that's a hell of a wine. It's good, it's structured, it's got length. A lot of casual people are gonna kind of go towards that style of wine because it does have a lot of oak, but I think it has the fruit where the oak is going to integrate with time. Again, I tried to get the same vintage of all these wines, and at first I thought I was winning, but as producers started sending wine, I realized, oh, not gonna be able to keep to the same vintage. Wine C&D. You know, I cut and I edit these to make them a little quicker so you don't sit there and think through everything. However, I do think when you're tasting, especially blind, you go with your first instinct. You know, you've seen me tripped up on the channel before because I didn't go with my first instinct. Let's check out Wine C here. It's very traditional, like it get me excited here. Like it's a little bit of that balsamic vinaigrette type flavor. This has like a lot, it's very floral. And usually with Nebbiolo, Sangiovese, I think rose petal, this is more violets. This is just like a pretty nose. Grape, dried cranberry, a little bit tart. I think this is Nebbiolo. Wow, this in between. That's a good wine. Not gonna be to everyone's palate, but man, Nebbiolo can be round and silky up front like Pinot Noir, and then the tannins can come and hit you on the back end. Almost like a boxer that also does ballet, dancing, you know, all elegantly and nicely, and then boom, hits you with hard tannins. That's a good wine. That's really good. Wine D. More raspberry, more sour cherry. I think right away it goes Sangiovese on this. Earth, pepper. I mean, to me, this quintessential Sangiovese, and good one at that. I don't know here, man. To me, it tastes Sangiovese, and it's like a really good one, whatever this is, but the tannins hit pretty hard on the back end. This is a hell of a wine. Like raspberry, tobacco. This to me is kind of like quintessential what I think of when I think about Brunello, good Brunello di Montalcino. Length here, extraordinary. Just to let you know, in that first set of 4 wines, my lowest score is 92 plus. Wine E and F. I think that it's a little bit more difficult to tell these wines apart with age. That's why I tried to get all 2017 vintage, some with bottle age, because it's a little bit easier, I think, when they're young, but I couldn't get all the same vintage. This one right here, I think is Nebbiolo. It's a little more austere, a little more closed off. The rose petal, again, cranberry. Oh, and as you shake it out, the floral notes really start to come out. And Nebbiolo is such a weird grape because your mouth waters like crazy, but then it dries out because there's so much acidity and then there's so much tannin to like dry up your palate. This is a super pretty wine, but lots of acid, a lot of tannin, but super pretty wine. It's more of a lighter style. This is wine I think is gonna age really nice. Wine F has got a lot of tar notes. This one, Pinot Noir head's gonna absolutely love it. Got a lot of fall leaves type character on the back end, something I identify with Pinot Noir. Good wine so far, good wines. Wines G and H. Wine H is considerably darker. I'm gonna think that's Sangiovese. It's a tip off, but we'll see. Let's see. Wine G here. This is wine that I'm confused right away. I don't know if it's right in between. Got raspberry, got some cranberry, got some sour cherry type flavors. Rose petals start to come out a little bit. Again, I think the tannin gives us away. This wine up front, from the front, the start to the mid palate, just impeccably balanced. I think some people are gonna have, like, young Nebbiolo can be hard. I think this is Nebbiolo at first. The tannins can really start to get to you unless you have food. You really need food with these wines, or you need them to have age. This is good. This is really good. That's really good. Super good. Wine H has got leather, black cherry. It's dark. I think this is Sangiovese, and it's so funny. I like my Sangiovese a little more delicate. This is extraordinary. Like for a bigger Sangiovese, really well done. Just, it's dark blackberry, mulberry type flavors. Like Wine B, this is oaky, but you know what? You cannot deny the quality. The quality is very good. It's so funny. That's why in wine, you never make, I think in life too with people, you may never make definitive statements, although, you know, I have before. I know I've been guilty, but this right here is not the style that I usually like. I think it's Sangiovese. It's dark, it's rich and dense, but the finish and the length on this, okay, I can handle the oak up front if there's enough fruit, but I think it's gonna melt well. That's a good wine. You ready for the reveal? You ready? You ready? I'm ready. No losers here. My lowest score, 92 plus, all the way up to 95 plus. So there's some serious wines here. This is all preference because these wines, they're so different. It's, you know, all about the style. Listen to the tasting notes, and that's how I think that you should go for what the kind of wine that you want to have. Tied for 92 plus. I thought it was Sangiovese. It is rich black cherry, it has some oak, but could not deny the quality on the back end. Let's see if it's Sangiovese. Wine B. I'm a little bit nervous. Please let it have, please be Sangiovese. Let's see here. Wow! This is a wine that, I thought was going to be the best wine in the past. And it's a bit young. The Boscarelli Il Nocio 2017. This is not a cheap wine. Goes for about 125 bucks. I have to say this is young. Last year at this time, I had the 1991, the first vintage ever, and it was one of the most mind-blowing wines I've had in my life. Beautiful wine made with Brunello clones. Like I said, oak up front, but at the end, I could not deny the quality. I thought this would be the highest scoring wine, so wow. Blind tasting, man. Okay, wine E. This is pretty, acidic, lighter, gentle. Like I said, it's just a lighter, floral, pretty Nebbiolo. That's what I think it is. I think it's Nebbiolo. I'm 1 for 1. Let's see here. Wine E, 92 plus. Okay, please. Please let me get this right. I did get it right. This is the Albe, the GD Vajra Barolo. This is the Albe 2018. Young. So I picked up that this was young. Cool thing about this wine, this is 45 bucks. This is the wine that made me fall in love with Barolo years ago. I bought this wine, I think it was a 2005, but way before I was in the wine industry. It blew me away with the tar, the perfume notes. This is consistently one of the best values in Barolo if you want to check it out, because Barolo wines can be really pricey. 45 bucks. It's a steal. Like I said, 92 plus, super good wine. Okay. 2 for 2. Wine F, Fall Leaves. For those that like Pinot Noir, I think this is Nebbiolo because of the development, the tannins at the back end. I gave it 93 points. Let's see. It's the Lebanese. I put it the Lebanese so because it's a taller bottle. This is the Marchesi di Barolo Sarmasa Barolo Single Vineyard 2017. Or the legend is modern Barolo as we know it was developed in the cellars of Marchesi di Barolo, because in the past Barolo was actually a sweet wine. This is a very, very well pedigreed wine. 85 Fall Leaves, which I really like. I think it's going to show really, really nice with time. Nice job. Okay. I am so far 3 for 3. Coming up next, wine A. I thought it was Nebbiolo. I thought the tannins were really drying, but it's really good. 93 plus. The cranberry, the tar stuck out a lot. Let's see if I'm... Yeah! This is the Adriano Cichin Barbaresco Riserva Rambone 2017. A lot of people go to Barolo, the prices are extraordinary. I think Barbaresco is a region you can still find a lot of values. This is a very good producer. Before I was in the wine industry, I stayed at this producer. They have an agriturismo, an amazing breakfast on it, Lisa. 45 bucks. Super high quality, 93 plus points. I've had this wine aged too, and I say it ages extraordinary. This is a wine highly seek out. You gotta kind of search for it, but you can find it. Good wine. Okay, I got 2 wines here tied for 94 points. Wine C. I thought it was Nebbiolo. Had traditional like flavors, violet type flavors. I thought it was really, really pretty. Remember I said Barolo's, Nebbiolo based wines usually gonna get rose petal, but however this was more violet. Okay, let's see. Traditional, 94 points. I thought it was Nebbiolo. Please let it be Nebbiolo. So I got one mixed up. This is the Fèlsina Fontolloro Toscana 2018 legendary producer in the south of Chianti Classico. This is an IGT, a super Tuscan wine. Fontolloro, it's because it's named after the golden fountain that is on the estate. 50 bucks. 50 bucks. 94, I thought it was Nebbiolo. Really good wine. It's so funny because a lot of times I think their Chianti Classico or Riserva is better than this wine. This showed extraordinarily today. Wow. Wow. Tied. Also, wine G here. I thought it was balanced all the way to the end. That's when the tannins start to hit hard. 94 points. I thought that it was Nebbiolo, but I've got one wrong so far. I'm excited to see what this is. Okay, let's see what it is. 94 points. Wow. So it is Nebbiolo. I got that right. This is the Adriano Marco e Vittorio Basarin Barbaresco 2019. Michele, great job. This wine, speaking of value, is 30 bucks. 30 bucks. I met this producer in Singapore. They came out and visited because their importer was in Singapore. Then I went to visit them when I started traveling all around the world. And then I had mutual friends somehow of the daughter that runs this estate. It's $30. And they have a Basarin Riserva that often really outperforms other wines. $30. This is the cheapest wine in the bunch. 94 points. That's all you need to know. Blind tasting. Excellent. Seek it out. The two top wines, I thought they were both Sangiovese, but I think obviously I got one of them wrong. So, okay, let's start our hill here, and I'm going to be surprised. So, wine H, it was super oaky, but I could not deny the quality in the back end. Oak, mulberry, black cherry, 94 plus points. There's oaky. Wow. This is the Terre Margaritelli. This is a Torgiano Rosso Riserva. Torgiano is an appellation in Umbria dedicated to Sangiovese. You can also blend Caggiole, Mamola, Colorino in it. This is 100% Sangiovese organic. Here's the thing though, $125. This is the Pictoricius. You can only get this at the estate, but oaky, but man, you cannot deny the quality here. $125. I'm surprised. Not the typical type of wine that I'm gonna enjoy, but it was awesome. And before we get to the top wine, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's a lot of good stuff coming up. And let me know, do you prefer Sangiovese or do you prefer Nebbiolo? Wine D, I thought it was Sangiovese. It was hard for me to tell if it was Sangiovese, Nebbiolo, tart, raspberry, cherry, and the finish just separated this. I thought it was Sangiovese. Let's see, 95 plus. Extraordinary wine. Okay, it is a Sangiovese. This is the Poliziano Le Caggiole Vino Nobile de Montepulciano 2017. Here's the thing, $100. I've been a huge fan of this wine, and I've had past vintages. Wow, really surprised for it to show that well. Incredible wine. This winery you can find all around the world. Their entry level Vino Nobile de Montepulciano, I think it's about $30. It's very, very good. This is their top wine. Excellent. I just got one wrong. You know, that's how it is. So tell me, have you ever done tastings like this? Do you have a region that you prefer? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks a lot. I'll see you soon.